Yo, what's good? I know it's been a month and a half since my last video, but I was just busy, honestly, I was kind of going to stop doing videos in general because I was just like, is there even a point at this point? But no, I'm not the quitter. And so I'm going to start a new series, which is this. So I'm going to start this new series where I go on Reddit and find these really interesting posts. Basically, there's a subreddit called RelationshipAdvice where people anonymously post their dilemmas and their problems and their like confessions and stuff like that. Some of them are quite boring, so I skip them, like things like my mum died. Ugh, I don't care. But things like, you know, I'm getting cheated on, that's like the juicy stuff that I want to see. And I find it's really interesting to read them and give my opinion on them, give advice or make fun of them, or do both, you never know. So I just want to get into it and I think it's going to be a good idea. Without further ado, okay, this one right here. Is my girlfriend cheating on me? If you have to ask, it's probably a yes. Anyway, my girlfriend and I have been together for 5 years. She recently came out to me as bisexual. Ooh. I was and still am supportive of her identity. About a month ago, she started acting distant, barely texting me and reading my texts with no response. Ooh. At the same time, she started spending nearly every day with a new girl. They got very close and did everything together because this girl was staying with her. I guess they mean living together. While being very distant and not really communicating with me. She told me she and this girl held hands. Okay. She told me they has been sleeping together in the same bed and frequently were around each other naked. It didn't bother me at first as I trust my girlfriend. I trust her that much. If it was a guy, because it's another girl, you're probably like, if it was a guy sleeping in your girlfriend's bed naked, you wouldn't be having any of it. But fair enough. But then she told me that she didn't feel romantic toward me anymore. I finally confronted her and she told me this. She also told me they had cuddled together when drunk. She asked me if we could take a break. I agreed. She called me back a few minutes later and said never mind. And said never mind, she wanted to work it out. Now she's the exact opposite. She's very lovely and affectionate. She wants to have sex all the time, which is also a change. And she constantly says how much she loves me and misses me, how she can't wait to wake up next to me again, etc. I feel like she's cheating on me. I feel like she's laying it on thick because she feels guilty now. Ooh, good point. Am I just being paranoid or do I talk to her about it? Edit. We are supposed to move in together in a week, so I'm pretty stressed out. Oof. Okay, so he thinks that she's cheating on him with the girl because they're roommates right now and her mood changes a lot. She's suddenly all happy because she's probably guilty that she's tried to someone else. That's a doozy. Wait, actually, they held hands, which at first I thought was not a big deal, but they held hands. She doesn't reply to your text sometimes. She leaves you on red. She spends every day with this girl. They live together. They sleep together in the same bed and are around each other frequently when naked. And now suddenly she's like really like, oh, I love you. I want to wake up next to you every morning. I think she cheated on you and now the guilt is biting her up from the inside and she's like, I have to make up to him by being extra nice and stuff like that. I would confront her maybe. I wouldn't break up with her, or would I? No, I'd confront her first, and if she's all nervous and like, I don't know what you're talking about, then break up with her because she's obviously lying. This is suspicious. Whenever someone's giving you flowers and like saying, I love you so much, like what do you have to hide? What's eating you up so badly that you have to do all these nice things? Because when it's a regular day, you just treat me like whatever. But when you've done something bad, you're like, oh, I love you so much. Like, you don't. Let's go on to the next one. I, 17 female, am beginning to think that I may hate my sister, 14 female, and I worry that there's no way past this. For context, she's been verbally abusing. It's not funny. No, it's not funny. For context, she has been verbally abusing me for years. She is a wait, your sister's 14 and you're getting bullied by her. You're getting bullied by your little sister. Anyway, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna judge you. She is a bully and essentially began terrorizing others when she first developed her language skills as a little kid. It was all cute stuff like, you got a spider in your eye when she was 4, but it quickly escalated into stuff like, you're an ugly little freak. You're unlovable. Note, I'm not the only one she bullies like this. She bullies everyone in her family. Your whole family, your dad and mum, all getting bullied by the 14-year-old. Someone needs to grow some balls. Someone needs to slap some. No, I'm just joking. I can't believe you're letting this little girl terrorize your family like this. Like, just anyway. I'm almost an adult. Yeah, you are. And this makes it even more embarrassing. I'm almost an adult, but her constant abuse. I'm so sorry, it's not funny. But her constant abuse almost makes me cry. It's not that what she says hurts my feelings anymore. It's that it's so humiliating to have to endure the things she says and does. My mom, who is very religious and always told me to just forgive her and try to be her friend. It's your sister. But I have been doing exactly that for a decade and nothing has gotten better. It has only gotten worse. She is vengeful and vindictive. How is she all these characteristics when she's 14 years old? She probably doesn't know how to spell the word vindictive. Neither do I. V-I-N-D-I-C-T-I-V-I. How is she vindictive and vengeful? Those are two words that you would not use to describe a 14-year-old girl. 14! How has she got so many evil traits? Damn. She is vengeful and vindictive. Whenever she starts bullying someone, we're all too scared of her to stop. How? She's 14. 14. 1-4. If you don't slap her, whenever she starts bullying someone, we're all too scared of her to stop her and stand up for the victim. Sometimes I'll comfort them when I think she's not looking. When she's not looking, what's she gonna do? She's 14. What's she gonna do? She's gonna beat you up. If she sees you comforting the victim, she's gonna beat you up or something. Why are you so scared of this 14-year-old girl? I don't get why you're so scared of her. Damn, bro. Sometimes I'll comfort them when I think she's not looking. But if she sees me doing so, she'll start verbally attacking me as well. It's awful. Of course, she has her normal human moments when she laughs at jokes and watches movies. I'm just gonna interrupt here to say that I'm actually gonna send this video to the girl and everyone whose questions I answered on Reddit. I'll message them being like, hey, I made the video about you. If you're watching this, I'm so sorry I kept laughing. I'm so sorry I kept laughing at you and your issue. Like, no hard feelings, it's just kind of funny. Back to the video. I'm just reading the line. She is vengeful and vindictive. She is vengeful and vindictive when she's 14 years old. Anyway, up until this year, there were many days when we got along, but being stuck in the house with her for months on end due to COVID had made it much harder to get along with her. We had an argument over 3 weeks ago now, and we have not spoken since. All she has said is the usual insults and mutterings. I apologized 3 days after the argument for the things I said, but she doesn't care. I am so tired of putting up with her. But I realized a few days ago that I'm not tired of the abuse and arguing. I'm tired of her in general. For many years, I've been raised to just forget and forgive everything she's done and try to befriend her. It's your sister. I no longer think this is possible. In fact, I'm worried that I hate her. I hope you do. Or that I don't love her, at least. I don't picture her in my future at all. I haven't pictured her in my future ever, actually. I don't know if it's possible to become friends with my verbally abusive sister. I don't know if it's even worth it. I realized the other day that I genuinely don't care about her and haven't for a really long time. It's really scary, horrifying thing to realize that I don't love my sister. Do you think I am justified to hate her? Should I try to forgive her once more and befriend her? Or should I avoid her and eventually cut her off? Okay. Alright, sorry, I'm laughing because I just can't imagine it. Like, your sister, 14. But I'm gonna take your word for it, it's happening. Tell her that if she keeps acting up, you'll take away her lunch money. Bully her back, you know, fight fire with fire. If she calls you a cunt, call her a skank. If she calls you a bitch, call her a twat. You know, like, fight fire with fire. Don't just sit there and take it. I don't condone beating kids, but in this situation, she deserves to get rocked in the face. She deserves to get beat up. Your family, you can fight and it's just like, we're just play fighting. So just like punch her in the face and like fight fire with fire. It sounds like you're a bit of a softie, no offense, but if you're letting your 14-year-old sister bully you and verbally abuse you, if your 14-year-old sister is vengeful and vindictive, then I think she's used to being like the queen of the house. Like, she's used to like walking around with her chest puffed out like what like she's used to being that sort of like alpha female. So you gotta like teach her place, be like, I'm older than you and I'm gonna slap you if you dare verbally abuse me again, because you gotta stand your own ground. You can't let people walk over you like that, especially your 14-year-old sister. If it was like a girl in your class, then maybe you can't really beat her up without getting in trouble with your teachers. But your sister, what's gonna happen? What's the worst gonna happen if you beat the crap out of her? So that's my advice, beat her up. Oof, that was very funny. Ooh, this one's interesting. Should the closet door remain untouched? I think my best friend might be gay. Hello everyone. Hi. There is something I have been thinking about for years. To give a little context, I've known my best friend for as long as I can remember. We weren't always super close, but we were always around each other, and I have many memories of him from childhood. He was feminine and flamboyant, and the moment we figured out what being gay was, he began to get teased and accused. It wasn't extremely, just occasionally. Someone would go and ask him if he was gay. We were kids, so of course he didn't have an answer. We entered middle school together and became friends. Oh, friends? And when high school rolled around, we were very close. By then, we all had a cleaner understanding of sexuality, and it was no longer something to tease someone over. Even so, insensitive kids would ask him the same question, are you gay? And it happened about once a year. Once, are you counting? He was always made very uncomfortable by this question and never once gave a straight answer. Really, a straight answer. You could have picked any other term. Now we are in college and the question still goes unanswered. I know you should never assume someone's sexuality, but like I said, he's my best friend and I grew up with him. In private conversation, he has never once mentioned girls being attractive, but there have been many times when we have talked about other guys being attractive. Maybe you're the gay one. Nigga, damn. I know him well, and even though I've never had verbal confirmation, I do get the sense that he isn't straight. I couldn't care less about sexuality really, because you wrote a whole post on Reddit about sexuality and you couldn't care less. Anyway, at the end of the day, I love him and accept him no matter what he's going on, but sometimes I worry about him. I feel like he might have this part of himself that he's too afraid to show to the world. He could be a pretty bitter person. What's a nice alliteration? And he has a lot of trouble opening up to new people. I wonder if those things will change a little if he was just more comfortable with himself. Damn, you really think all this about him? Like, how can you tell that he's not comfortable with himself? You're analyzing the crap out of him. I think you might be going too deep in there, but I by no means want to shove anyone out of the closet. I just wonder if there's a comfortable and mature way to talk about sexuality, and if that would even help. Is this just a journey that he must face on his own? Wouldn't asking him about his sexuality just be intrusive? If anyone reading this has ever been in the closet, do you wish someone would have talked to you about it? Did coming out help you? I really want him to be happy, that's all. Alright, I appreciate your intention, but I think you have to mind your own business a little bit. I mean, it is your best friend, and I get why you want him to be free and happy. But if he is not, if people ask him if he's gay as a kid, and he's always been like, no. Even if he does this every single day, if he's the most flamboyant and yes, Queen Slay, even if he calls other guys sexy, even if he's like, yeah, I'd suck his dick. If he hasn't come out as gay yet, and when you ask him, he's like, I don't. If you ask him, he's like, what makes you think that? I'm not gay. Then it's obvious he just doesn't want to say it. If he is, it's his life. You're not the one having sex with him, so it shouldn't affect you that much. Like, no offense, it's your best friend, but it's just not your problem. And if he doesn't want your help, then he's not gonna ask for it. So I just say leave him alone. Like, when he comes out, he'll come out. Don't you dare tell people he's gay if he's like not comfortable with coming out yet. Personally, people have thought that I was gay when I was a little kid, but that's because it was an insult and like everyone's like, you act weird, so you must be gay. At one point I thought I might be gay. I was like, damn, I might be. Everyone's saying I am. I was like, nah. I know what guys look good, and I'll be like, that guy's sexy. I tell my friends they're sexy all the time. Is that gay? Probably. But I wouldn't shag one of my male friends. Either way, it's none of your business, is what I'm trying to say here. So like, don't pressure him, don't tell him that you wrote a Reddit post about him, don't tell him anything. Just none of your business, I guess. No offense, I know you're trying to help him, but stay out of it. Next one. Help, I am scared of my boyfriend's Willy. My best friend, male 18, and I, female 18, started dating before lockdown hit. He's great, he's amazing. I genuinely think I'm in love with him. Anyways, things started moving fast when we finally got together. It was a long time coming, and I ended up giving him a handjob in the back of a cinema. Handjobs are so crap, I'm not, sorry, it's not relevant at all, but if any guys got a handjob before, it just doesn't do anything. It's just like, I could do this myself. Like, what are you contributing? Like, hands? I got hands. What you got is a mouth, and you gotta use it, okay? I'm joking. I probably shouldn't say stuff like this on the channel. Anyway, I gave him a handjob at the back of a cinema. He returned the favor by fingering me. This was my first time seeing his Willy, and it was a lot bigger than I was expecting. I could barely wrap my hand around half of it. Sure, it was impressive and kind of sexy, but it really made me think, how the hell is this gonna work? For context, I am 5'1" on the, you short bitch. I am 5'1" on a good day. We are both virgins. I've been trying to convince myself, big can be nice, right? Big is good. But there's always that niggling feeling in the background. What if he rips my vagina? What if the condom breaks? What if it literally won't go in? Honestly, I'm kind of glad the lockdown hit when it did, because I don't think I was ready to take the next step. He hasn't put any pressure on me or anything, and I really want to have sex, but I'm just terrified of having that thing inside of me. Am I overthinking this? What do you think? Any advice? Okay, it's kind of cute. Don't worry, your vagina will, it gets bigger when you're aroused. So hopefully if he's not a Neanderthal, he won't just stick it in. He'll like, you know, go through the motions and be like, you know, kissy and stuff, and you know, huggy and stuff, and making love and stuff. And it won't be, well, it will be painful. I don't know, I'm not a girl, so I really shouldn't be answering this question, should I? But I think it's kind of funny that you're just like, it's too big. Don't do it if you don't want to do it, but also man up. I'm kidding. If you're a virgin and you've never seen a Willy before, then you might think it's big because it's just like, you know, it's your first time seeing one. And it's like, how's that gonna fit inside me? But I'm pretty sure you find a way. Like, but don't do it if you don't want to do it. Like, wait till you're ready. And he seems like a nice guy, so he won't pressure you, hopefully. If he's like, you know, hurry up, he wastes my time, then probably should leave him because he's like, you know, a bit forceful. Anyway, this could be the last one, okay? Last one. I want to cheat, but I don't want to cheat. 23 female. Oh, she's 23 female. My boyfriend's 22 male. Over a year and a half, has been dealing and recovering from mental health issues, anxiety, depression, insomnia. He is taking the meds and talking to a counselor. I am so proud of him and happy for him. You know it's gonna end up being something bad when they're like, I'm so proud, I love him so much. You're guilty, you're gonna do something bad, aren't you? Because you're saying all these nice things, you're saying all these words of affirmation. Anyway, let's read it. I am so proud of him and happy for him for getting the help he needs. He has improved, but it will be a long road. For the past month and a half, he has been unable to give me any amount of support. We can barely talk on the phone before he will break down crying about how stressed he is and sad he is. He rarely texts me because he claims he doesn't know what to talk about with me anymore. Your girlfriend? He doesn't ask anything about me or how school is going for me. He basically doesn't talk to me. I don't feel any love or support or acknowledgement from him. I want to be there for him, but he doesn't want to talk to me. He won't say I love you anymore. That's kind of sad. He is the love of my life. We plan to move in together when I graduate in May. In my mind, I always imagine having a fling with someone in the meantime while he is getting better. Ooh, and can finally be there to talk to or be with me. I know who it would be. I fantasize about it often. Oh boy, so she's got a man at the ready. She's got some guy on the side. She's got someone ready and ready to collect. She's like, anytime I call you, we're gonna shag. Damn. And she fantasizes about it too. Wow. Alright, slow down. You're still with the thought look. It would be lovely to have someone to sincerely, I said it so weirdly, want to talk to me and be there for me. I know I don't want to cheat.
Are you sure about that?
But the idea of having someone who shows me affection, actually wants to talk to me, sounds incredible from what I have not been receiving. How do I stop feeling like, one, I want to cheat on him, and two, not cared about in the slightest? This is kind of tough because your boyfriend's going through mental health issues and you're like, I want some loving, and he's not loving you. I don't know, because if you leave him, you might push him to the edge, or his friends are dead, you know. But if you want to cheat on him, that's not going to go too well. If he finds out, then he'll get even more upset, and you know, it's not going to help his mental health. You obviously don't like him. You fantasize about cheating on him. You want to cheat so badly that you're dreaming about it. You even know who it is. You've planned it out, and you know who's going to be. You loved him when he wasn't sick. Now he is sick now, and that's kind of who he is now. So you don't love him. You love who he used to be. Not his fault or your fault, because it's a mental illness love. He didn't plan it or nothing. No one can be blamed here. But you can't say like, I still love him, because like, you obviously don't. You want to cheat on him. You just don't want to feel bad because he's going through stuff, and you don't want to be a mean old bitch who leaves him when he's going through a bad time. But to be honest, you gotta think for yourself in this life, and if he's like treating you badly, I know it's not his fault because his mental illness and whatnot, but if it was me, honestly, I'd just be like, okay, too bad. Because like, you're gonna be waiting around for him to get ready, and he's gonna be hanging up on you on the phone. He's gonna be calling you a dirty whore, and it's gonna be because he's mentally ill, and you can't even retort. You can't be like, well, you're ugly too, because he's mentally ill right now and he's like going through stuff. You don't want to like trigger him anymore. It might push him to the edge. All his friends are dead. Hey, push me to the edge. Hey, I don't really care if you cry. All of you should have never lied. She's a solid way, she's a me in my eye. Yeah, just leave him, to be honest. Just let that man go. Don't put him through any more stress by cheating on him when he's already down to the dumps. Don't kick him when he's down. Don't add insult to injury. Just like leave him and be with that other guy that you planned and fantasized about. Be with that man you very specifically said you want to shag. Leave him alone, and don't hurt his feelings anymore, because it's gonna hurt him that you leave, but it's gonna hurt him even more that you cheat on him, and he will find out someday. Whatever has been done in the darkness will come out to the light someday. Whew, I think that's it for the video. I've done like 6 of them. I don't know, but it was really fun. Like, if you guys like this, let me know in the comments, because I think it was pretty fun. If you guys have any personal issues to submit to me, you could do it anonymously. I'll give like a link in the comments or something to put in an anonymous post if you want to like give me something, because it's usually to know it's coming from one of you guys. If you think I gave wrong advice somewhere, I probably did. If you think I gave some bad advice, then say so in the comments. And yeah, I really like this new idea. Like, do you want to see more of this? I could do just like a weekly thing, hopefully. You know me, weekly ain't gonna happen, but I could do like a bi-weekly, monthly thing where I do this sort of video. Might be next video I do if you guys like it so much. But yeah, let me know what you thought, and sorry for not uploading in like flipping years. Anyway, if you like this video, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next time. Peace out. Adios. Hey.